So yes, I've got my Disney ears, I've got my little Marie jumper on, and we are ready to go. So let's open up the planner. I keep dropping my phone. Hey guys, welcome to an exciting video today. I am making this simply because I absolutely love watching these. I've seen a few of my faves like Ellie Steadman and Brogan Tate, who are like Disney vloggers, do like a Disneyland planning video, and they're incredibly helpful. So I thought I'd do my version, since we are currently planning our Disneyland Paris trip for December, which is in, I think it's in less than 20 days now. I think it's in 19 days, which is crazy, but very, very exciting. And I've actually planned this really late. When you go to Disney World, you have to plan everything like way in advance, because everything gets so booked, and there's more to book than there is in Paris because it's that much bigger, and there's more to plan because it's that much bigger. And I've actually only ever been to Disneyland Paris once before, which was 2 years ago, and I went in summer, and we didn't do any planning whatsoever. We didn't know a lot about like the ins and outs of Disney parks. I feel like this time when we went to Florida last year in 2016, we really learned how to plan and organise a Disney trip to get the most out of it, after we'd already been to Florida once and Paris once. So now we're using those tools that we learned from the Florida trip on the Disneyland Paris trip, but it's very different. But I've got my planner here. Which way does this go around? This is my Disney planner. I planned Florida in this. I'm now planning Disneyland Paris in it. I absolutely love this notepad. I love notepads and stationery, and I just decided to use this as the Florida one. And I don't like to use a new one until I've used it. I'm trying really hard to do that, because doesn't everyone just end up with like half-used notepads all the time? I want to actually use it. So this is going to be planning all of our future Disney trips until it's full, and there's a long way to go. But yes, I've planned Disneyland Paris now, and I thought I'd make this video. Not sure really how long this is going to be, so maybe get yourself a snack or a drink. But yeah, I hope this is helpful. Basically, I'm going to go through what we have planned and what our holiday is going to consist of, and the way in which that can be helpful to you if you're going to Disneyland is to like notice the things that I'm mentioning. For instance, like hotels, how long the trip is, what we think is worth booking, all those kind of things. I don't feel equipped enough to do a Disneyland Paris tips video yet, but maybe I will once I get back from this trip. So yes, I've got my Disney ears, I've got my little Marie jumper on, and we are ready to go. So let's open up the planner. I keep dropping my phone. We are going in December. We are going for 3 nights and 4 days. The last time we went on a Disney, we went to just Paris actually for our anniversary, for our 10-year anniversary. We went to a Paris trip, and we did 2 days in Paris and 2 days in Disneyland. And yeah, it wasn't planned at all. We just kind of turned up. We were staying actually in Paris, not in a Disneyland hotel. So this time, yeah, we're doing 3 nights, 4 days. I think that would be enough time, and also that fit in with what our budget was. And this is the exciting part. We are staying in the Disneyland Hotel. If you don't know what that is, I'll include a photo here. But basically, it's the building that you like first see when you enter Disneyland Paris, which is just crazy. The first time we went, we didn't even know that was a hotel, and I remember queuing to buy our tickets and being like, where are all these people coming from? And they were like skipping the queue, and it was the Disneyland Hotel. Like the turnstiles for them were in front of us. Anyway, so we're staying in the Disneyland Hotel in a classic room. It's just for 2 adults, me and my boyfriend, and I'm really, really excited. We basically could have gone for an extra day or 2 and stayed in a cheaper hotel, or we could have done it this way, and we both just decided that this is what we wanted. We had, well, at the time that we booked this, we'd had a really stressful time with our house. We've just bought our first house and moved in, which is very exciting but also very expensive and very stressful. Like, moving is stressful anyway, but we had a lot of things go wrong in terms of renovation because we wanted a doer-upper and our house is a doer-upper. So we decided, you know what, we deserve the best. We're going to stay in the best hotel, and three nights, 4 days is enough for us. So that's what we decided. We're flying with EasyJet and we will arrive in Paris at 9:30 a.m. ish. We're going to the CDG, is it Charles de Gaulle, I want to say, airport. And I also paid for 2 hold bags. You actually have to pay for like hold bags with EasyJet. And less so for going there, but more for coming back. I knew we'd buy a lot of like Christmas presents and souvenirs, so I paid for the bags just in case, because I was like, I don't want to deal with that stress. Our park tickets are included in that price, in the price that we paid in our package, and also we got 15% off at the Disney store, which I still haven't used. I need to use that. So day one, we're going to arrive at the airport. We're going to get the Magic Express bus, which we've booked, to our hotel, which is just a transfer bus, but it's like by Disney. We're going to go to our hotel. We're going to drop off our bags because Disney hotels do this thing where you can't go into your room until 3 in the afternoon, 3 p.m. But you can like check in and give them your bags and then go in the park, so you're not like wasting the day just waiting to check in. So for that reason, that's why I booked an earlier flight, and so that we can get the most out of the day. So we're going to go straight to the hotel, give them our bags, and then go into the main Disneyland park. The first thing we're going to do is go straight to try and get a fast pass for Big Thunder Mountain. That's going to be our first objective once we've handed our bags in, because when we went to Florida last year, Big Thunder Mountain was closed, and when we went to Disneyland Paris in 2 years ago, Big Thunder Mountain was closed. So we haven't been on Big Thunder Mountain since we first went to Florida in 2012. So we both really want to go on it. It's one of our favourite rides, so we're going to go straight to get a fast pass for there. And then whilst we're waiting for that fast pass, because this is the problem, I thought that, I just think the way that Florida does it is better and more organised and makes more sense, the way that you can book things and organise it. Paris I don't think I've quite caught up yet, but I actually haven't been there to use the fast pass system, so I'm still a bit confused. I've actually got to call them after I make this video and ask them a few questions about this. But with our fast passes in Florida, we called up 60 days before and booked 2 fast passes for each day of our holiday, and that was just done. And then it meant that I knew those were the rides we would go on and what time. I just got to pick whatever time. Whereas I think with Paris, I could be wrong, but this, from what I've heard and what I've read, this is all I could find, was that I just have to book it when I'm there, like in the morning, and that they sell out quite fast. So that means you can't plan as much, obviously, because in Florida, if I knew we're going on Big Thunder Mountain at 11, I know I've got from 10 till 11 to do what I want, whereas we don't know if we're even going to get a fast pass by the time we get there. So, but this is all provisional. This is what we want to happen. It's a vague plan. So that's what we're going to do. Go and get the fast pass. What we're going to do as well as one of the first things is to go inside and around and under the castle. That's just going to be my like second thing on the list to do. Well, third. Check in, Big Thunder Mountain fast pass, go to the castle, take photos with the castle before it gets dark, because it's going to get dark really early because it's winter. So just do the castle basically. And then all before lunch, I'm going to try and meet some characters in the Main Street area. I think it's best when you're planning a Disneyland holiday to plan via areas. When we first went to Florida and Disneyland Paris, we missed a lot because when you get there, it's all so exciting and overwhelming. You kind of just, if you don't have a plan, you flit around from like area to area and ride to ride, and oh, I want to do that and I want to do that. And for us, we like big rides, so we we just went and did all the big rides, and then it was like, oh, but now we've been in every area but only briefly, and you just miss a lot. So it's better to plan, do an area, do it all, move to the next area, I think. That's my opinion. So the characters that I could see at the moment on the Disneyland Paris website, there was only stuff for November, but it was all Christmassy, so I'm hoping it's roughly the same. It might change, but that's all I can go off of for now for planning. So the characters that I'm going to try and meet, these are just ones that I'm interested in meeting, are Marie from Aristocats, Scrooge McDuck, and Thumper and Miss Bunny. They're all in the like Main Street area in different places, so they're the ones we're going to try and meet in that time. We're then going to watch the Christmas parade, which is on at 11:50, which I am so excited for, I can't even tell you. Then we're going to go to Frontierland. That's where we're going to basically spend, that's the first area other than Main Street. We're going to do Main Street and Frontierland is going to be our first focus. So Christmas parade, and then we're going to go and try and do Big Thunder Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Riverboat Landing, that kind of like area, do all of that. And like I said, when I'm saying do all of that, I'm not meaning that we're going to get it all done. I just mean that's the area we're sticking to. Because then we want to have lunch at the Lucky Nugget Saloon. I don't hear a lot of people mentioning this in Disney Tips videos, but it was honestly one of the highlights of our Paris trip 2 years ago. We just stumbled upon it and we were hungry, and we looked at the menu and we were like, yeah, it does like chicken and chips, burgers, whatever. And when we walked in, it was so nice in there. I was just expecting it to be like a canteen, you know, like a lot of the quick serve places are. And it was so nice in there, and there was a stage and there was a guy playing the piano, and he was like interacting with us and getting us to join in and like clap at certain times. And it was just really spontaneous and fun, and we just really liked it. The food was great, the people that served us were really nice there. We did have a couple of sour experiences with members of staff when we went 2 years ago, but that was one of the most positive experiences we had, so we really want to go back there for lunch. So that's where we're going to go for lunch. Then I've got to meet Jack Skellington, all the Toy Story characters that are in and around Frontierland. That's going to be our, like, you know, one of the things to do whilst we're there. And then we want to watch Merry Stitchmas at 1:50 or 2:30, depending on the time. I don't know how long lunch is going to take. I don't know what we're going to get done in between. But we really want to see Merry Stitchmas. Obviously, we've never been at Christmas time, so I want to do all of the Christmas things and see all the Christmas stuff. So that's on the to-do list. And then we're going to go straight to our hotel to get to our room at 3 o'clock. Then we're going to freshen up, look around the hotel, take photos, because the hotel is incredible, and I know their Christmas decorations are amazing, so we really want to like spend time checking out our hotel. Not too long though, because at 3:50 is the Frozen sing-along in Frontierland. So back to Frontierland, like I said, that's going to be our main aim for this first day. And I'm not the biggest Frozen fan, but I feel like Frozen is very Christmassy because of all the snow, and I've never done a Disney sing-along in all the parks I've been to, so I'm dragging my boyfriend to it whether he likes it or not, and we're going to go to that at 3:50. Then we're going to do Adventureland. So Adventureland and Frontierland are kind of next to each other. If you imagine the Disneyland parks like a big circle, here's Main Street, here's Frontierland, here's Adventureland, here's Fantasyland, here's Discoveryland. Adventureland doesn't have much in it that we would want to do, so I've just kind of written down Indiana Jones. That is like the main thing in Adventureland that we want to do, because I don't think that was even there when we went before, and if it was closed because we've never been on it. So Indiana Jones is a must, and then we want to watch the parade at 5 PM, so we'll be back on Main Street. So we're not veering too far from Main Street really. And then we've got some time between 5 and 6:30 to go in shops, do anything we've missed in Frontierland or Adventureland, just kind of chill, have some downtime. It is good to put in when you're planning. This might sound to some people like it's planned within an inch of its life, which it kind of is, but some people plan more than this. Some people plan like every hour, whereas I like to have sections where I just go, that's free time, that we can do what we want. You know, if we want to go and get like an ice cream, I mean it's going to be cold but still, or go in the shops, or you know, just go on a ride again, or go on a ride we haven't been on, then it's free time and I don't feel panicked because we're not sticking to the plan, you know. because at 6:30 is the Christmas lights and then illuminations on the castle, so we 100% want to see that on the first night. I'm very, very excited. I think what we're going to do is try and have late dinners and early nights, because the parks close at 7 or 6 for the studios whilst we're there. They always have like a closing show, don't they, on the castle or whatever, so we want to see that. Then we're going to leave, go to the Disney Village and have dinner at the Rainforest Cafe. That's the aim. We love the Rainforest Cafe. I think that would be a really nice first dinner at on the holiday, and then we're going to go to bed. I'm going to go back to the hotel. Maybe if we didn't get a chance to look around everywhere earlier on, we'll look around the hotel more, unpack some more, but we're going to try and get an early night. Day 2 is at the studios, and we are going to be getting up at like 6:30 a.m. We're going to have a quick breakfast somewhere or just grab something on the go, and then get to the studios for extra magic hours at 8:30 a.m. The thing we need to do first, which everyone's advised me on, is go straight to Crusher's Coaster, because it's not on the fast pass system and apparently it has queues of like 3 hours, which I cannot physically stand in. When we went 2 years ago was before I got unwell, and we literally queued, I think, for 3 hours for Crusher's Coaster, and it nearly killed me. When I say I wasn't unwell, I wasn't as bad as I am now, and I also didn't know what was wrong with me. So when you don't know what's wrong with you, when you don't know that like you actually have an illness and that by forcing yourself to stand there you're making yourself more ill, I didn't know any of that. So I just had some backache and felt really exhausted. So I just sat on the floor of the queue, which it might be gross, but like that's just what I had to do. But it wasn't comfortable. It was a really negative experience of our trip actually last time because of that. So this time I'm actually hoping to get I think it's called a priority pass. Basically my doctor's given me a medical certificate to say that because of the condition that I have, which is SLE if you didn't know, I cannot physically stand for that long. In Florida I had to use a wheelchair a lot of the time. I'm hoping I don't have to use a wheelchair this time. I really don't want to have to use a wheelchair. I much prefer being independent, being able to go around and do my own thing and walk and go at a pace, and I don't want to have to put that on my boyfriend either to push me around in one. So I'm hoping that I won't need a wheelchair, but I definitely know that I won't be able to queue for 3 hours. So that's what, I don't know what that's going to be like. I've never done that before, so we'll see. But that's the aim. And then also the aim is to get a Ratatouille fast pass, because that also gets crazy lines. And this is making it sound like 2 years ago we had an awful trip, but 2 years ago we went on Ratatouille and it broke halfway through but didn't stop. So we kept moving, but the screens and where we were out of sync with each other, so nothing made sense. So when we came off, and we'd queued for like 2 hours, when we came off we were like, that would have been such a good ride if it wasn't broken. Like, we knew how good it would have been. So this time I'm excited, hopefully it doesn't break. Then I've got do smaller rides if you're waiting for the fast pass, because I don't know again if the fast pass is going to be straight away, if it's going to be an hour, or if it's going to be 5 hours. So we'll do some of the smaller rides. We're going to try and stay in Toon Studio area and meet Pluto and Buzz and Friends before lunch. I'd like to meet both of those. And then we're going to go to the Mickey and Magician show at 11:10, which is in the Toon Studio. So we're kind of, again, I'm trying to stick to one area. I know that Ratatouille is like not really in Toon Studio, but you have to sacrifice sometimes the area thing for rides that you really want to do that you know are going to be popular. It's just the nature of the beast. We're going to go for lunch at either Restaurant en Coulisses, I think that's what it's called, or Café de Cascadeurs. I can't. And I took French. This is appalling. But we're just going to grab lunch somewhere nearby to where we end up, basically. I think those two, when I was looking through the menus, seemed like we'd be fine to eat there. I think we ate in the Restaurant en Coulisses. I think that's the one that's right in the entrance. It's just like a quick service thing inside that little covered bit in the entrance, and we ate there last time and it was fine, so maybe we'll just eat there again. We also want to try and get a fast pass for Tower of Terror or Rock and Roller Coaster, depending on what the queues are like. I really don't know how busy it's going to be. I've never been in December, I've never been at Christmas time. We are going before the schools break up, so hopefully that will help, but I'm anticipating it being quite busy. But Tower of Terror is our favourite ride, so we have to go on it. We're going to go to the Sing Me a Merry Christmas at Production Courtyard at 1:15. Because again, I want to do all the Christmas stuff. And then I've got to meet Minnie, because she's in her Christmas gear, at the Toon Studio, and Goofy at Front Lot, and then it just said Disney characters at Toon Studio as well, and then go on rides, go in shops, etc. Basically, after the Sing Me a Merry Christmas, we've just got some free time. And then there's I think it's called Motor Action Show at 2:15 at the back lot, and there's also Stitch Live, which didn't have times for. So I think we might want to see both of those, but we'll see how the day goes. I know that the studios is like really small, so like last time we did it in half a day, and then we could just double up and go on everything again. So let's just see how it goes. Then after that I've got rides, or we could go back to the hotel, or we could meet characters, or we could go to the shop, or we could even go to Disney Village and go to World of Disney. We've got more free time. I really want to see the Goofy Christmas show at 6 PM before the park closes, so that's a must. So basically between like 2 and 6 we've just got 4 hours of free time, which is really nice. And then we're going to go to Disney Village again for dinner and eat at Planet Hollywood. I love Planet Hollywood. I don't care how cheesy it is. I love Planet Hollywood. We both do. And then maybe go in the shops. I'm not sure, I didn't actually look what time the shops will close, so we'll see what we get up to in the evening. But again, I'm going to try and get early nights because I have a condition that makes me fatigued, so if I want to get up at 6:30, I cannot be staying out late. Day 3, back in the main Disney park. Again, get up at about 6:30 and grab a quick breakfast. Get to the park for extra magic hours at 8:30. Now everyone told me, and in all the videos I watched for tips, it said to meet characters and get fast passes in that extra magic hours. So that's what I've written down. The fast passes we're going to aim for are Buzz Lightyear or Space Mountain, because again, last time we went to Disneyland Paris, Space Mountain was totally closed because it was being refurbed into the Star Wars version that it is now. I think it's like Hyperspace Mountain or something, isn't it? So yeah. Then we've got to, I've also written down like prioritising. I think as the first 2 days are going to be more structured than the last 2 days, because it depends what you got done on your first day and what you didn't, do you know what I mean? So I've written down Peter Pan ride, Dumbo and Small World. Those are rides that we really want to go on. And then before lunch, basically we're spending before lunch in Fantasyland. That's where those rides are. That's where we're going to be because we didn't do it on the first day. In Fantasyland you can meet Santa, and you can also meet Mickey in Christmas gear, I think. So I really want to meet both of those. And then lunch, I just put at wherever. We have no preference other than wanting to go to the Lucky Nugget Saloon, so we're just going to see where the wind takes us. Mickey's Christmas Big Band is in Discoveryland at 1:20, so I've put on that day that we'll have quite an early lunch because of getting up so early, and then we're going to head over to Discoveryland to watch that at 1:20, and also the Star Wars Path of the Jedi show didn't have specific times, it just said in Discoveryland between 11 and 5, so hopefully we'll catch that whilst we're there because Ben is a big Star Wars fan. So then I've just put do Discoveryland, so that's where we're going to be for the second half of the day, do whatever we've missed, and then again see the Christmas lights and illuminations at 6:30, 7ish. And then again, dinner in the village. So and then I've put, when we get back to the hotel, make a list of what we haven't done, what we want to do, what we want to do again for the last day. Because I just think this was the same way. I planned like our first day in Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom and Epcot way more than I planned our second days at those parks, because you know, you could get everything done if it's freakishly quiet, and then basically the second day you're free to do what you want. But if you don't get everything done, you need to like prioritise, because you might not necessarily get it all done at all in the trip. So yeah. Day 4, I put up at 6:30 AM again. Breakfast at the Plaza Gardens. I would like to do that, but I haven't discussed it with my boyfriend yet, so I put it as a question mark. We're going to call today as soon as he gets home, so maybe we'll be having breakfast there with some characters. We got to check out of our hotel before 11 AM, but we can leave our bags there and spend the day in the parks, so that's what we're going to do. And I've just put do whatever we haven't already, so we can go between both parks. I really want to make sure, obviously, that anything we wanted to buy, there's like souvenirs or gifts that we've got, make sure we can like scoop around and do that on the last day. And then we have to get our bags and leave probably by about 6 PM, which is why I want to see all the end shows and make them a definite priority, because I know that on the last day we probably won't get a chance to. I think our flight back is at like 9ish. So we could, but I know I don't really want to cut it that short, but my boyfriend is like a stickler for being early, so I know he definitely won't want to cut it that short. Fly home, but I think because of the time difference, it means that we're basically at home at about 9:30. So yeah, that will be our holiday basically in a nutshell. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you are going to Disney and this did help, please leave a comment and let me know. If you are going to Disney or you've been before and you have other tips, like, please let me know. I want all the tips you could possibly give me, places to eat, for your favourite rides, things to see and do. Please, please, please leave comments and help each other as well, because I'm sure there'll be other people that will want to read those. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be vlogging the entire trip, which is very exciting. Can't wait to be back doing Disney vlogs. And yeah, I hope you're all having a wonderful week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.